You need to see this before October 24th. This is not a drill. This is not a test. This is a cosmic intervention. And if you are seeing this message, it is because your soul has an appointment with destiny. The universe doesn't make mistakes, and your presence here right now is a sacred echo of a choice you made long before this lifetime. Listen to the resonance in your own heart as I speak these words. A rare and profoundly powerful triple conjunction of the Moon, Mars, and Mercury is about to open a spiritual gateway unlike anything we have experienced in this decade. This alignment, peaking on October 24th and 25th, is a celestial key designed to unlock dormant codes within your very DNA, but only if you know how to turn it. Most people will walk through these 2 days completely unaware, feeling a strange pull, a heightened emotional state, a surge of chaotic energy, and they will attribute it to stress or a bad day. They will miss the entire point. But not you. You were guided here for a reason. Before we dive into the quantum mechanics of this event, and the 9 critical spiritual mistakes you absolutely must avoid, I need you to do 3 things immediately to anchor your energy and signal to the universe that you are ready to receive this upgrade. First, like this video to send a wave of positive intention into the collective. Second, subscribe and turn on all notifications, because the downloads and warnings for the rest of this year will be coming fast, and you cannot afford to miss them. And third, and this is the most important, type the number 999 in the comments below to lock in your frequency and declare that you are completing a major karmic cycle and are ready for what comes next. Now let's be clear. This is not just another astrological event. This is a triadic convergence of divine archetypes. You have the Moon, our sacred emotional compass, the ruler of our subconscious tides, our intuition, our deepest ancestral memories. It represents the divine feminine in its most receptive, knowing form. Then you have Mars, the sacred warrior, the planet of action, drive, passion, and raw, untamed energy. It is the force that severs, that protects, that pushes us forward through fear. And finally, you have Mercury, the divine messenger, the psychopomp who travels between worlds, governing our thoughts, our words, and the very fabric of our perceived reality. On October 24th and 25th, these 3 celestial consciousnesses are not just passing each other in the sky. They are meeting at a cosmic crossroads, a point of profound energetic synthesis. Imagine a divine council meeting where your emotional body, your will to act, and your power to think and speak all come into perfect harmonious alignment for a brief 48-hour window. This creates a portal, an energetic gateway where the veil between the 3D world of limitation and the 5D world of infinite possibility becomes almost transparent. During this window, your manifestations will not take weeks or months. They can anchor into your reality in moments. Your intuitive hits will not be whispers, they will be divine shouts. Your ability to heal deep-seated trauma will be accelerated 1,000-fold. But this immense power comes with immense responsibility, and it is a double-edged sword. If your energy is misaligned, if you are not conscious of the pitfalls, you can just as easily manifest your deepest fears, lock yourself into repeating karmic loops, and slam the door to this gateway shut for years to come. That is why we must discuss the 9 spiritual mistakes to avoid. These are not suggestions, they are urgent navigational warnings from your higher self. The first and arguably one of the most insidious mistakes to avoid during this gateway is ignoring the subtle signals from your body and your dreams. Under this potent lunar influence, your subconscious mind is in direct communication with the Akashic records. Your dreams will not be random firings of neurons. They will be prescriptive, symbolic roadmaps showing you what needs to be healed, who you need to release, and what your next step is. If you have been having recurring dreams of old houses, of being back in school, of losing your teeth, do not dismiss them. Write them down the moment you wake up. These are not just dreams, they are soul assignments. Similarly, your physical body will be speaking to you with undeniable clarity. The moon governs the water in our bodies, our cellular memory. A sudden ache in your left shoulder, a tightness in your throat, a fluttering in your stomach when a certain person's name is mentioned, these are not random physical symptoms. This is your body's way of processing and releasing trapped energetic information. Mars's influence will make these sensations more acute, almost impossible to ignore. Mercury's proximity ensures that the message behind the sensation is clear if you are willing to listen. To ignore these signals is to tell the universe you are not ready for the next level of embodiment. It's like having your spirit guides call you on the phone and deliberately sending it to voicemail. During these 48 hours, treat your body as a sacred oracle. If you feel a sudden urge to rest, rest. If you feel a sudden aversion to a certain food or person, honor it without question. Your intuition is being amplified to its absolute peak, and it is communicating through the vessel you inhabit. Disregarding it is the first step to missing the gateway entirely. It is a fundamental error of spiritual arrogance, believing that your conscious, logical mind knows better than the ancient wisdom encoded in your very cells. The universe is testing your ability to trust the unseen, to follow the non-linear breadcrumbs of your own soul. Do not fail this first, crucial test. If you have ever felt that quiet inner knowing, that gut feeling that you just can't explain, but know is true, type "I am listening" in the comments to affirm your commitment to honoring your inner oracle. Now we move to the second critical mistake, and this one involves the potent alchemical power of your words amplified to an unprecedented degree by the Mercury-Mars conjunction. The second mistake is engaging in low-frequency conversations and verbalizing your limitations. Understand this. During the October 24th, 95 gateway, your words are not just words. They are incantations. They are energetic commands that are being sent directly into a superconductive quantum field. With Mars, the planet of action, sitting right next to Mercury, the planet of communication, there is no longer a buffer between what you say and what you create. The manifestation gap has collapsed. Every word you speak will be like planting a seed in hyper-fertile soil, and it will sprout almost instantly. Therefore, engaging in gossip is not just idle chat, it is a vibrational curse you are placing on yourself and another. Complaining about your circumstances is not just venting, it is an act of reinforcing the energetic bars of your own prison. Speaking words of self-deprecation, even as a joke, is a form of psychic self-harm that the universe will take as a literal command. You must become a vigilant guardian of your vocalizations. This is the time to refuse to participate in conversations that drain you, that are rooted in cynicism, fear, or lack. This includes conversations with others, and most importantly, the conversation you have with yourself. The phrase "I can't" should be surgically removed from your vocabulary for these 48 hours. The words "I'm so broke" or "I'll never find love" are declarations that will crystallize into your reality with terrifying speed. You are being called to a higher level of linguistic responsibility. Instead, you must consciously and deliberately choose to speak only what you wish to create. This is not about toxic positivity or ignoring challenges. It is about acknowledging the challenge and then speaking the desired outcome into existence. Instead of "I'm so sick," try "My body is moving towards perfect health." Instead of "This is impossible," try "I am open to discovering the solution." This is your training ground for becoming a master manifester, a conscious creator. The universe is giving you the microphone and turning the universal amplifier all the way up. What you broadcast will become the soundtrack to the next chapter of your life. Choose your words as if they are the most powerful spells you will ever cast, because during this gateway, they are. Avoid this mistake at all costs, or you will find yourself trapped in a reality built from your own careless complaints and self-imposed limitations. This gateway is a test of your verbal integrity. Every word matters. Every syllable is a choice between creating heaven or reinforcing hell on earth for yourself. We have established the foundational pillars of awareness for this October 24th, 1925 gateway. You are now a guardian of your body's intuitive wisdom and a grand magician of your spoken word. But the architecture of this cosmic event is multi-layered, and the tests become more subtle, more profound, as we descend deeper into its core. Let us now address the third critical mistake, a trap so seductive and so deeply ingrained in our modern hustle culture that it ensnares even the most well-intentioned souls. This is a trap laid by the ego, baited by the fiery, impatient energy of Mars, and rationalized by the clever, strategic mind of Mercury. The third spiritual mistake to avoid at all costs is forcing outcomes and fighting against the divine current. During this 48-hour window, the universe is not a rock to be chiseled with the hammer of your will. It is a powerful, fast-moving river, and your only job is to navigate it with grace. The conjunction of Mars and Mercury creates an intense, almost frantic urge to do something. Mars, the warrior, screams for action, for conquest, for pushing through obstacles. Mercury, the strategist, begins plotting, planning, and trying to mentally manipulate every variable to guarantee a specific result. Compounded by the moon's emotional amplification, this can create a desperate, grasping energy within you. You might feel an overwhelming compulsion to force a conversation with someone, to send that risky text, to demand an answer from a boss, to make a huge purchase, or to launch a project before it's truly ready. This is the ego attempting to hijack the divine energy of the gateway for its own limited agenda. It is a profound misunderstanding of how true co-creation works. Understand this: forcing is the opposite of manifesting. Forcing comes from a place of lack, a belief that if you don't make it happen, it won't happen. It is an energy of distrust in the universe. During this hyper-conductive period, any action born from this frantic, controlling energy will backfire spectacularly. It is like trying to force a key into the wrong lock. Not only will it not open, but you will likely break the key and jam the mechanism, making it impossible to open even when the right time comes. The universe operates on the principles of resonance and divine timing, not brute force. This gateway is designed to align you with the most effortless path to your desires, but that path may look nothing like the one your logical mind has mapped out. Your soul has a GPS, and it is recalibrating during these 2 days. If you try to grab the wheel and follow your old, outdated paper map, you will inevitably drive yourself into a ditch. The correct posture during this gateway is one of active surrender, or what the ancients called wu wei, effortless action. This means you must differentiate between inspired actions and desperate actions. Inspired action feels light, expansive, and almost inevitable. It flows from a place of inner peace and intuitive knowing. It's the sudden urge to call an old friend you haven't spoken to in years, only to find they have the exact connection you need. It's the spontaneous decision to take a different route home, and stumbling upon a place that feels like a message from your soul. Desperate action, on the other hand, feels heavy, constricted, and is driven by anxiety and a racing mind. It is accompanied by a frantic inner monologue of what ifs and I have to. During October 24, 2025, you must become a connoisseur of your own inner state before taking any significant action. Before you send that email, before you make that call, before you make that decision, pause, place a hand on your heart, take a deep breath, and ask, is this action coming from a place of trust or a place of fear? The answer will be immediate and clear. If it is fear, you must have the spiritual discipline to stand still. This stillness is not passivity. It is a profound act of power. It is you telling the universe, I trust your timing more than I trust my fear. By refusing to force, you hold your energetic field open, allowing the universe to orchestrate synchronicities and deliver solutions that are far more elegant and miraculous than anything your ego could ever engineer. To fight this current is to declare war on your own destiny. If you are ready to release control and trust in the divine current of your life, comment I surrender below to anchor this powerful intention. Let go of the oars and feel the river guide you home. Now that we understand the sacred art of allowing, of surrendering to the divine flow, we must address what this universal current will inevitably bring to the surface. As the powerful tides of this triple conjunction wash through your consciousness, they will not only carry you forward, but will also dredge up sediment from the very bottom of your soul. This brings us to the fourth, and perhaps most emotionally challenging spiritual error: to avoid revisiting old wounds without the explicit intention to heal and release them. Make no mistake, the past will come calling during these 48 hours. The moon, as the ruler of our memory, our emotional body, and our ancestral lineage, will act as a cosmic magnet, pulling forgotten pains, old heartbreaks, unresolved traumas, and lingering resentments from the deep dark archives of your subconscious. You may find yourself suddenly thinking about an ex-partner from a decade ago. A childhood memory you thought you had processed may surface with startling emotional intensity. Feelings of grief, anger, or shame, tied to past events may rise up like a phantom tide. This is not a cosmic punishment. It is a profound act of grace. The universe is not asking you to relive your pain. It is presenting you with an itemized energetic invoice of every single dense vibration you are still carrying. This gateway is a cosmic decluttering event, a divine opportunity to finally once and for all put down the heavy baggage you have been dragging through lifetimes, so you can walk through the portal into a new reality, unburdened and free. The mistake, the critical error, lies in how you engage with these resurfacing energies. The untrained mind will fall into the trap of wallowing. Wallowing is when you pick up the old story and put it on like a familiar, comforting coat. You start replaying the events in your mind, relitigating who was right and who was wrong, indulging in the bittersweet melancholy of nostalgia, or sinking into the quicksand of victim consciousness. You might be tempted to call up the person who hurt you to reopen the wound, or to scroll through old photos, romanticizing a past that was in truth a lesson, not a life sentence. This is spiritual quicksand. Wallowing in old pain during this energetically potent time is like consciously choosing to infect a healing wound. It reinforces the neural pathways of suffering and signals to the universe that you identify with your trauma more than you identify with your divinity. You are effectively telling the quantum field, "More of this, please." The correct approach is not to suppress or ignore these feelings. What you resist persists. The correct approach is conscious witnessing. When a painful memory or emotion arises, you are to treat it like a sacred object presented to you for transmutation. Find a quiet space. Allow the feeling to be present in your body without judgment. Breathe into it. Then, you must engage in a conscious act of completion. Take out a journal. Write a letter to the person or the situation. Pour out every last drop of unspoken pain, anger, and grief onto the page. Do not hold back. When you are finished, write these powerful words at the bottom. I acknowledge the lessons this experience has taught me in strength, resilience, and discernment. I thank this memory for its service to my soul's evolution. And now, I release its energetic charge from my cells, my timeline, and my field, across all dimensions of my being. It is done. Then, you must safely burn the letter. As you watch the paper turn to ash, visualize the energetic cords connecting you to that past event dissolving into light. This is not a symbolic act. It is a quantum ceremony. It is you, as a sovereign creator, consciously rewriting your own energetic code. The ghosts of your past are not here to haunt you. They are here to be healed by you, to be liberated by your awareness. Do not mistake them for guests you must entertain at the table of your present moment. See them for what they are. Chains waiting for you, the master key holder, to finally unlock. To declare that you are transmutating your past into your greatest power, comment with the words "My past is my power," and feel the immediate shift in your energetic field. Once you have committed to this profound inner work, to navigating the divine current and to healing the ghosts of your past, the universe will require one more thing from you to ensure the process is successful. It needs you to create a sacred and sterile energetic environment for this profound spiritual surgery to take place. This leads us to the fifth critical mistake, and it is perhaps the most difficult one for the modern soul to avoid, as it goes against everything our hyper-connected society tells us is important. The fifth mistake is neglecting sacred solitude and allowing your energy to be contaminated by external static. Understand that this Moon-Mars-Mercury conjunction is not just an external event to be observed, it is an internal transmission to be received. Your entire being, your physical body, your emotional field, your mental landscape, is being upgraded with new light codes, new intuitive capacities, and a new energetic operating system. For this divine download to be received with clarity and successfully integrated, you must become a clear and receptive channel. Any external noise, be it the incessant chatter of social media, the fear-based frequencies of the news, the draining dramas of other people, or even just chaotic loud environments, acts as psychic static. It corrupts the signal. It distorts the transmission. It can cause the upgrade to fail or install improperly, leaving you feeling more anxious, fragmented and confused than before. The world will not understand your need for stillness. Your friends might want to go out. Your family might make demands on your time. Your phone will buzz with notifications, each one a tiny hook attempting to pull your consciousness back into the 3D matrix. The mistake is to give in to this pull. The mistake is to succumb to the fear of missing out, when in reality, the only thing you risk missing out on is the evolution of your own soul. During these 48 hours, sacred solitude is not a luxury. It is a spiritual necessity. This does not mean you have to lock yourself in a cave, but it does mean you must be ruthlessly discerning with your time and energy. You must consciously carve out significant periods of quiet introspection. This is the time to turn your phone off for 3 hours at a stretch. This is the time to politely decline that social invitation. This is the time to trade your Netflix binge for a long walk in nature, to replace the podcast with the sound of your own breath, to substitute the endless scroll with the empty page of a journal. You must create a sacred container for yourself. Think of it like this. If you were receiving a life-saving blood transfusion, you would ensure the environment was sterile, the needle was clean, and the process was undisturbed. This is an energy transfusion from the cosmos itself. You must treat it with the same level of reverence. Fill this sacred time with activities that ground and center you. Take a salt bath to cleanse your auric field. Meditate on your intentions. Listen to high-frequency music, like solfeggio tones or binaural beats. Lie on the earth and allow its grounding energy to stabilize your system as it receives the celestial influx. This solitude is not about loneliness. It is an act of profound energetic sovereignty. It is you declaring that your connection to your higher self and the universe is your #1 priority. In the quiet, you will hear the whispers of your soul. In the stillness, the fragmented pieces of yourself will begin to integrate. In the silence, the divine transmission will be received in its purest form. To choose distraction over devotion during this gateway is to leave the door to your temple wide open during a sacred ceremony, allowing the chaos of the marketplace to flood in and desecrate the altar. Protect your energy as if your entire future depends on it, because in a very real quantum sense it does. Mastering this art of solitude is the prerequisite for what comes next, because the remaining mistakes deal with how you interact with the world once you emerge from your sacred space. And if your channel is not clear, you will stumble into traps far greater than you can imagine. We have journeyed together through the foundational errors of this cosmic initiation, ignoring your inner oracle, wielding your words carelessly, forcing divine timing, wallowing in old wounds and neglecting the sanctuary of solitude. Each of these mistakes is a veil, a layer of illusion that can obscure the profound potential of this October 24th 25 gateway. But now, as we move deeper, the tests become more external, more woven into the fabric of your interactions with the world. Having cultivated a clear inner channel through sacred solitude, you are now prepared to face the energies of others. However, this is where the influence of Mars, the warrior, can become a significant challenge. Mars provides the courage to set boundaries, but it can also tempt us into conflict for the sake of proving a point. This brings us to the 6th and monumentally important spiritual mistake: to avoid engaging in righteous battles and trying to awaken those who are choosing to sleep. During this 48-hour gateway, your frequency will be shifting at an accelerated rate. Your perceptions will sharpen. The illusions, manipulations, and energetic dissonances in the world around you will become glaringly obvious. You will see the matrix for what it is. You will hear the untruths in people's words. You will feel the inauthenticity behind their masks, and you will recognize the systems of control that have been designed to keep humanity in a state of fear and limitation. With the fiery conviction of Mars coursing through your veins, your first instinct may be to fight. You will feel a powerful urge to correct, to debate, to expose, and to wake up everyone around you. You will want to point out the fallacies in a family member's fear-based worldview, argue with strangers on the internet about spiritual truths, or try to force your newfound clarity upon a partner or friend who is simply not ready to hear it. This is a divine trap. It is an egoic detour disguised as a noble crusade. The universe is not testing your ability to win an argument. It is testing your ability to hold your light without needing to prove it. Engaging in these battles, no matter how righteous they feel, is a catastrophic drain of your precious life force energy. It is like having a full chalice of divine nectar and choosing to pour it onto the desert sand in a futile attempt to make it bloom. The quantum field responds to vibration, not to logic. When you enter into a state of argument or conflict, you immediately lower your own frequency to match the energy you are fighting against. You descend from the 5D state of the witness into the 3D drama of right and wrong, of us versus them. You become an energetic match to struggle, to resistance, and to discord. And what you are a match to, you will manifest more of. Furthermore, you must understand the profound spiritual law of free will. Every single soul is on its own unique journey of awakening, with its own divine timing and its own pre-incarnative curriculum. It is not your job to be their alarm clock. To force your truth upon another is an act of spiritual violation. It is a subtle form of energetic imperialism, assuming that your path is the only path and your timing is the correct timing for everyone. True mastery lies in embodying your truth so powerfully, so peacefully, so joyfully, that your very presence becomes an invitation for others to find their own. Instead of arguing, you radiate. Instead of convincing, you become a living example. When someone voices a fear-based belief, instead of correcting them, simply hold a space of compassion and say, "I understand that's one way to see it." You do not need to agree, but you must refuse to engage in the energetic tug of war. During this gateway, your energy is your most sacred currency. Do not spend it on battles that cannot be won. Protect it fiercely. Let others have their opinions, their dramas, and their illusions. Bless them on their path, and then pivot your attention back to your own. You are here to anchor a new frequency on this planet, not to convince the old frequency that it is wrong. Your mission is to tend to the fire in your own lighthouse, not to sail out into the storm and try to command the waves. Avoid this mistake, and you will preserve the very energy you need to build your new reality. If you are ready to release the need to be right and embrace the power of being a peaceful warrior of light, comment "I embody my truth" below. Affirm that your power lies not in conflict, but in the silent radiance of your own centered being. Having learned to preserve your energy by disengaging from futile external battles, you must now turn that discerning eye inward to your own material world. This gateway is not just about spiritual and emotional upgrades. It is a profound recalibration of your relationship with physical reality, especially with abundance and the flow of resources. This brings us to the seventh critical mistake, a subtle but deeply impactful error that stems from the collision of Mercury's mental acuity and the Moon's deep-seated emotional patterns around security. The seventh mistake is making major financial decisions or significant material commitments from a place of emotional volatility. During these 2 days, the Moon's influence will be stirring the very depths of your emotional waters. This means your feelings about security, self-worth, and stability will be highly amplified and potentially erratic. You might experience sudden waves of intense financial anxiety, a feeling that you don't have enough, that you're going to lose everything, even if your external reality is stable. Conversely, you might experience a surge of manic overconfidence, a feeling of invincibility that tempts you into reckless spending or risky investments. Mercury, the trickster, can play games with your perception, making a fleeting desire feel like an absolute necessity. Mars, the impulsive warrior, will urge you to act now before it's too late. This is a treacherous combination. It creates the perfect storm for making emotionally driven decisions that could lock you into long-term consequences that are not aligned with your highest path. During this 48-hour period, you must place a sacred pause on all significant material transactions. This is not the time to buy a house, purchase a car, quit your job on an emotional whim, or pour your savings into a speculative venture. Why? because any decision made from a peak emotional state, whether it's a peak of fear or a peak of euphoria, is inherently distorted. You are not seeing the situation with clarity, you are seeing it through the powerful colored lens of your temporary emotional state. The universe is using this gateway to reveal your core wounds around abundance. If you have a deep-seated fear of lack, this portal will amplify it to show you where you still need to heal your trust in the divine provider. If you have a pattern of using retail therapy to soothe emotional discomfort, this portal will amplify that urge to show you where you are trying to fill an inner void with external things. Your job is not to react to these amplified feelings by taking immediate external action. Your job is to observe them, thank them for the information they are providing about your inner world, and allow them to pass without being acted upon. Think of this 48-hour window as an energetic escrow. All major decisions are to be put on hold. The impulse to make a big purchase is not a divine sign, it's a test of your emotional regulation. The sudden terror of financial ruin is not a premonition, it's a surfacing of an old scarcity program for you to observe and release. The correct course of action is to window shop your life. You can research, you can explore options, you can add things to your cart, but you do not click buy. You can draft the resignation letter, but you do not click send. You are gathering data, not making binding commitments. This sacred pause allows the emotional wave to crest and recede, so that when the gateway's intensity subsides on October 26th, you can revisit these decisions with a clear mind, a calm heart, and an integrated perspective. Acting impulsively with your finances during this time is like trying to navigate your ship through a hurricane while looking at a map drawn by a child. Wait for the waters to calm. Wait for the sky to clear. The opportunities that are truly meant for you will not disappear in 48 hours. Only the ones that are energetic traps designed to test your mastery will present themselves with a false sense of urgency. Avoid this mistake, and you will protect your material reality from the temporary storms of your emotional sea. To affirm your commitment to conscious stewardship of your resources, comment "I am a conscious creator of my abundance" below. Feel the calm and centered power that comes from making choices from a place of wisdom, not reactivity. As we continue our journey, we arrive at a mistake that is perhaps the most insidious of all, for it cloaks itself in the guise of spirituality itself. It's a trap that many on the conscious path fall into, a form of spiritual bypassing that can completely derail the integration of this powerful gateway energy. This brings us to the eighth critical mistake: confusing intellectual understanding with embodied integration. With Mercury, the planet of the mind, so active during this conjunction, there is a tremendous temptation to simply think your way through this transformation. You might watch this video, read articles, listen to podcasts, and accumulate a vast amount of intellectual knowledge about the gateway. You will understand the astrology, you will know the spiritual jargon, you will be able to explain the mechanics of 5D energy shifts to anyone who will listen. Your mind will feel sharp, clear, and full of brilliant insights. You might spend the entire 48 hours journaling, meditating on abstract concepts, and creating elaborate mental maps of your new reality. The ego loves this. It feels productive, it feels enlightened, and it feels in control. However, this gateway is not a mental exercise. It is a full-body cellular level event. The energies coming in are not meant to be simply understood by your brain. They are meant to be received, anchored, and lived through your physical vessel. The mistake is to remain in the ivory tower of your mind, believing that because you get it, intellectually, the work is done. True integration is the process of bringing the high-frequency energies of the cosmos down from your crown chakra and grounding them deep into the earth through your root chakra. It is about taking the celestial and making it terrestrial. This requires you to move out of your head and into your body. While your mind is busy conceptualizing grounding, your body is screaming for you to actually take your shoes off and stand on the grass. While your mind is analyzing the meaning of emotional release, your body is waiting for you to put on a piece of music and dance until you sweat and cry. While your mind is contemplating the idea of a new timeline, your body needs you to cook a nourishing meal, drink a glass of clean water, and get a full night of sleep. Embodiment is not glamorous. It is practical. It is visceral. It is about honoring the simple primal needs of your human form. During October 24th, Naughty 5, you must consciously schedule activities that force you to be present in your physicality. Engage your 5 senses. Go outside and pay attention to the feeling of the wind on your skin. Savor the taste of your food without distraction. Listen to the sounds of nature. Light a candle and watch the flame. These simple acts of sensory presence pull your consciousness out of the swirling vortex of Mercury's mental energy and anchor it into the here and now, which is the only place where true transformation can occur. The body is the crucible in which spirit and matter are alchemized. If you neglect the crucible, the alchemy cannot happen. The information remains as unrealized potential, a beautiful theory that has no power to change your actual life. The universe is offering you a key to a new reality, but that key must be turned by the hands of your physical self, on the door of your physical life. Do not spend 2 days admiring the key's intricate design, and then forget to put it in the lock. Move, breathe, feel, touch, taste. This is the sacred work of embodiment. It is the bridge between knowing the path and walking the path, and only by walking it can you truly arrive at your destination. Now, having journeyed through the foundational pillars of preparation, guarding your inner world and navigating the initial external tests, we must descend into the very heart of the alchemical chamber. You have grounded yourself in the sacred temple of your body, preparing it to be the crucible for this great work. But the energies of this triple conjunction are not merely about purification, they are about profound choice and radical realignment. With your vessel prepared, you are now ready to face the more complex, subtle, and powerful tests that this gateway presents. These are the initiations that separate the novice from the adept. They deal with the very essence of your creative power and the architecture of your relational universe. The next challenge we must dissect is a master-level test of discernment, a sophisticated illusion woven by the combined energies of an amplified ego Mars and a brilliant storytelling mind Mercury. Let us call this the 7th mistake, a critical pitfall on the path, mistaking the intense cravings of your karmic programming for the authentic callings of your soul. During the 48-hour peak of this gateway, the raw, untamed power of Mars will ignite the fire of desire within you like never before. This is not just a gentle wanting, it is a primal, urgent, all-consuming life force energy demanding expression. Simultaneously, the moon will connect this desire to your deepest, often unhealed emotional needs, the need for validation, for security, for wholeness, for love. Then Mercury, the master weaver, will step in and construct a perfectly logical, compelling and seductive narrative around this desire, making it sound like the most spiritual, soul-aligned mission you have ever conceived. This is where the great test lies. The gateway amplifies all desire, not just the pure desires of your higher self. It also amplifies the cravings of your shadow, the desperate wants of your wounded inner child, and the ambitious agenda of your ego. The critical mistake is to lack the discernment to tell the difference. A soulful calling feels expansive, peaceful, and patient, even when it is powerful. It is infused with a sense of service, creation, and authentic joy. Its pursuit fills you with more energy than it consumes. A karmic craving, on the other hand, feels contractive, urgent, and desperate. It is characterized by an undercurrent of anxiety and a feeling of "I must have this to be okay." It is often fixated on a specific person, a specific outcome, or a specific form of external validation. It is a hunger that comes from a place of perceived lack. Let's make this tangible. A soul calling might be a deep, peaceful knowing that you are meant to create a healing modality, write a book that inspires others, or move to a piece of land that resonates with your spirit. A karmic craving, supercharged by this gateway, might manifest as an obsessive need for a specific ex-partner to return, believing that their love is the only thing that can make you whole. It might be a frantic ambition to achieve a certain job title or income level, not for the joy of the work, but to finally prove your worth to your parents or to the world. Do you see the difference? The first is a pull from your future, soul-aligned self. The second is a push from the unhealed wounds of your past. Mercury's trick is to disguise the karmic craving as a soul calling. It will tell you, winning back your ex is your destiny, your twin flame journey, when in reality, it is your inner child's attachment wound seeking to resolve a pattern of abandonment. It will tell you, this high-pressure job is your divine mission, when in truth, it is your ego's deep-seated fear of being seen as a failure. To chase these karmic cravings during the gateway is to use a rocket ship's worth of manifestation fuel to fly directly into a repeating karmic loop. You will manifest the lesson, not the liberation. So how do you discern? You must become a spiritual detective. When a powerful desire arises, you must pause and interrogate it with loving but ruthless honesty. Ask yourself, what is the feeling underneath this desire? Is it peace, or is it anxiety? Is it expansion, or is it neediness? If I were to receive this thing right now, what wound inside of me would it temporarily soothe? Trace the desire back to its root. Is it born of love, or is it born of fear? Your emotional body, thanks to the moon's clarity, will not lie. Learning to bypass the ego's seductive story and tune into the core energetic signature of your desires is the master key to ensuring you use this potent gateway to build your heaven, not to unconsciously reconstruct your old prison with new, stronger bars. Once you have achieved this new level of discernment over your own inner landscape of desire, you are prepared for the final and most profound external test of this gateway. This initiation concerns the very fabric of your reality, your relationships. This brings us to the 7th B mistake, a challenge that will require all the courage Mars can offer, consciously clinging to relationships and energetic contracts that have reached their sacred expiration date. This triple conjunction is a divine truth serum for your entire relational field. The moon will illuminate the true emotional resonance or dissonance between you and the people in your life. Mercury will push for authentic, transparent communication, making superficial conversations feel unbearable. And Mars, the great Severer, will provide the necessary energy to cut the cords that are no longer serving your highest evolution. During these 48 hours, the energetic truth of every connection you have will be laid bare. You will feel, with undeniable clarity, which relationships nourish you, and which ones drain you. You will see which connections are based on a shared vision for the future, and which are tethered to the shared traumas of the past. You will recognize the people in whose presence you can be your full expansive self, and the people who require you to shrink, to dim your light, to play a role in order to maintain the peace. The critical mistake is to see this truth, and then, out of fear, guilt, or misplaced loyalty, to consciously ignore it. Cling to an expired relationship during this potent time is like trying to carry a piece of dead wood with you as you attempt to swim across a powerful river to a new shore. It will not only slow you down, it will threaten to drown you. The universe is attempting to lighten your energetic load for the next phase of your journey, and you are insisting on holding on to the very anchors that are keeping you stuck. This clinging can take many forms. It can be forcing conversations that have no energy, pretending not to notice the emotional void between you and a partner, continuing to say yes to family members who consistently disrespect your boundaries, or maintaining a friendship that is built entirely on complaining and low-frequency gossip. Why do we do this? We cling because of the fear of the unknown, the fear of being alone, the fear of hurting someone's feelings. But what you must understand is that by clinging, you are not only dishonoring your own soul's path, but you are also dishonoring theirs. You are holding them in an inauthentic dynamic, preventing them from finding the people and situations that are in true alignment with their own journey. The most loving act you can perform during this gateway is to honor the truth. This does not always mean a dramatic confrontation or a sudden breakup. It can be a subtle but firm energetic shift. It can mean loving someone from a distance. It can mean creating sacred space and silence where there was once constant, draining interaction. It might mean having one short, clear and compassionate conversation where you state your new boundaries. The warrior energy of Mars is not just for fighting. Its highest expression is the courage to uphold your truth with a clean and honorable cut. Use the clarity of this gateway to take an honest inventory of your relational life. Who are the people who reflect the future you are creating? And who are the people who represent the past you are healing from? Be brave enough to bless and release the latter. This act of relational realignment is the final decluttering. It creates the sacred vacuum that will, in the weeks and months to follow, be filled by the arrival of your true soul family, the connections that are an energetic match to the new, upgraded version of you that is being born in this very moment. To refuse this step is to pass through the eye of the needle and then attempt to drag all your old heavy baggage through with you. It cannot be done. Choose freedom. Choose truth. Choose the relationships that are a vibrational match to your destiny. We have navigated the treacherous waters of this cosmic passage, charting the 8 critical mistakes that could divert your soul's vessel from its intended destination. We have learned to become the silent oracle of our own bodies, the master magicians of our words, the graceful navigators of the divine current, and the compassionate alchemists of our past traumas. We have understood the profound necessity of sacred solitude, the wisdom of disengaging from righteous battles, the prudence of pausing major material decisions, and the essential non-negotiable work of embodiment. Each of these principles is a star in a celestial constellation, guiding you toward mastery. But now we arrive at the final culminating point. This is the mistake that determines whether the entire transformative potential of this gateway is successfully anchored into your future, or whether it dissipates like a beautiful dream upon waking. This 9th mistake is the most subtle, yet it holds the key to the longevity of your upgrade. It is the error that occurs in the quiet moments after the peak intensity has passed, in the liminal space between the gateway and the rest of your life. The 9th and final spiritual mistake to avoid is failing to anchor the new frequency with an act of ceremonial gratitude and a declaration of your new baseline. Imagine you have just downloaded a massive life-changing software update for your computer. The download completes, the installation runs, and a final message pops up: restart required to apply changes. If you ignore that message and continue operating as before, the new software remains dormant, the old bugs persist, and the entire upgrade was for nothing. The universe operates on a similar principle. The October 24th, 2025 gateway is the download and installation. The period immediately following, the morning of October 26th, and the days that follow, is the restart. You cannot simply go back to your old life, your old routines, your old ways of being, and expect the new reality to magically manifest. You must perform a conscious, deliberate act that signals to the quantum field, to your own subconscious mind, and to the entire universe that the upgrade has been accepted and that a new operational standard is now in effect. To neglect this final step is to leave the door open for the old programs of lack, fear, and limitation to creep back in and reclaim their territory. The mistake is one of omission. It's the subtle, silent drift back into comfortable patterns, the unconscious slide back down the vibrational mountain you just climbed. It is the belief that the work is over when, in truth, the most important phase, the integration and stabilization, has just begun. So how do you perform this sacred restart? It requires a twofold process. The first part is an act of profound ceremonial gratitude. On the morning of October 26th, before you check your phone, before you engage with the world, you must create a moment of sacred ceremony. This doesn't need to be elaborate. It can be as simple as lighting a candle, holding a crystal, or standing barefoot on the earth. In this sacred space, you must speak your gratitude aloud. This is not a passive feeling of thanks, it is an active vocalized transmission of high-frequency energy. You will say, "I give thanks to the consciousness of the Moon, Mars, and Mercury, for their divine alignment and the potent activations I have received. I give thanks to my higher self and my spiritual guides for navigating me through this gateway with wisdom and protection. I give thanks to my physical body for being a resilient and receptive vessel for this profound energetic upgrade. I give thanks for the clarity I have received, the healing I have undergone, and the new potentials that are now available to me." By verbalizing your gratitude, you are sealing the energetic container of the experience. You are wrapping the entire 2-day process in the highest frequency available in the universe: appreciation. Gratitude is the energetic superglue of the cosmos. It takes the ephemeral, fluid energies of the gateway and crystallizes them into the structure of your reality. It tells the universe, I have received the gift, I recognize its value, I am a worthy steward of this new energy. This act of gratitude closes the portal behind you, preventing any backsliding into the old timeline. The second part of the restart is a conscious declaration of your new baseline. The old you, the one who existed before October 24th, had certain default settings. Perhaps your old baseline was anxiety, or a feeling of not enoughness, or a tolerance for draining relationships. After the gateway, this baseline is no longer valid. You must now consciously define and declare your new one. This is also best done aloud, as a continuation of your ceremony. You will state, with the full force of your sovereign will, what your new non-negotiables are. For example, as of this moment, my new baseline is inner peace. I no longer consent to participating in drama or chaos. My new baseline is self-worth. I no longer consent to relationships, jobs, or situations that do not honor my intrinsic value. My new baseline is sovereign abundance. I no longer consent to the frequency of lack or scarcity consciousness. My new baseline is vibrant health. I no longer consent to habits that dishonor my sacred physical vessel. You are drawing a line in the cosmic sand. You are serving an eviction notice to all lower frequency energies that previously resided within your field. This is not a hopeful wish. It is a royal decree. You are the king or queen of your own energetic kingdom, and you are now announcing the new laws of your land. This declaration reprograms your subconscious mind and recalibrates your auric field to a new higher resonant frequency. It becomes the new set point that your energy will naturally return to. Without this conscious declaration, your energy by default will try to return to its old familiar settings, and the profound shifts of the gateway will be lost within weeks. Do not let this happen. The universe has extended its hand to lift you up. You must have the courage to declare that you intend to stay there. This final act of gratitude and declaration is the golden key that locks in your transformation and ensures that the magic of the gateway becomes not just a fleeting experience, but the permanent foundation of your new life. If you are ready to claim your new reality and lock in the profound transformations of this gateway, I invite you to participate in this declaration right now. Type in the comments, "My new baseline is," and fill in the blank with your highest intention, for example, joy, peace, abundance, worthiness, love. Let this be your first act of declaring to the universe the new law of your being. As we bring this sacred transmission to a close, it is essential that we zoom out and understand the larger context of what is unfolding. This October 24th, Naughty 5 gateway is not an isolated event. It is a critical node in a much larger planetary awakening. It is an accelerated evolutionary checkpoint designed for the souls who have chosen to be on the leading edge of this great shift in consciousness. The souls we often call the chosen ones. If you have resonated with this message, if you have felt the truth of these words vibrating in your very bones, it is because you are one of them. You did not come to this planet at this time to live a small, mundane life. You came here with a mission. You came to be a lighthouse, a way shower, a frequency holder for a new earth, and gateways like this one are your cosmic training grounds. They are designed to strip away everything that is not your true divine essence, to activate the dormant spiritual gifts within you, and to remind you of the magnificent power you hold as a co-creator of reality. The 9 mistakes we have outlined are not just rules to follow for 2 days. The fond de prude as 2 days. They are a curriculum for mastery. Each one is a reflection of a larger theme you are learning to master in this lifetime. Mastering your intuition, mastering your creative power, mastering flow and surrender, mastering emotional alchemy, mastering energetic sovereignty, mastering peace over conflict, mastering conscious stewardship, mastering embodiment, and mastering the art of integration. The intensity of this gateway is a direct reflection of the urgency of the times we are living in. The collective is at a tipping point. The old 3D structures built on fear, control, and separation are crumbling. They are becoming more chaotic, more desperate, and more dissonant, because they know their time is up. In the midst of this chaos, your role is not to despair. Your role is not to fight the dying paradigm. Your role is to hold your center, to anchor your light, and to diligently, joyfully, and unapologetically build your new reality from the inside out. Your personal transformation is a direct contribution to the planetary transformation. As you heal your own wounds of lack, you help to heal the collective scarcity consciousness. As you choose peace over conflict in your personal life, you anchor more peace into the planetary grid. As you learn to love and honor yourself, you model for others the frequency of divine self-love. Do not underestimate the power of your inner work. It is the most potent form of activism there is. This Moon-Mars-Mercury conjunction is a divine appointment that your soul has been waiting for. It is a cosmic booster pack, an energetic slingshot designed to propel you to the next level of your mission, if you consciously choose to engage with it. So over the next few days, as you prepare for this gateway, I invite you to revisit this message. Treat these 9 principles, not as warnings to be feared, but as sacred guideposts to be honored. Prepare your sacred space. Inform your loved ones that you will need some quiet time. Gather your journal, your candles, your salt for bathing. Begin now to practice guarding your words. Begin now to tune into the subtle whispers of your body. The energy is already building. You can already feel it in the air. A sense of anticipation, a charge of electricity, a feeling that something big is about to happen. You are not imagining it. You are simply sensitive enough to feel the first ripples of the incoming tidal wave of transformation. Remember who you are. You are not a victim of circumstance, tossed about by the whims of the planets. You are a sovereign creator being, a fractal of God/Source/Creator, and the cosmos is conspiring in your favor. These celestial bodies are your allies, your ancient family, reminding you of the power that has been sleeping within you all along. Step into this gateway with reverence, with courage, and with an open heart. Avoid these 9 simple but profound mistakes, and you will emerge on the other side of October 25th, not just changed, but utterly reborn. You will be walking in a new reality, on a new timeline, with a new understanding of what is possible for you and for all of humanity. If this message has reached you, it was not by accident. It was a divine orchestration. If you have felt the call, I ask you one last time to fully anchor your commitment. Like this video to seal your intention. Share it with at least one other soul you know who is ready to receive this level of awareness. In doing so, you amplify the light for the collective. And of course, ensure you are subscribed with all notifications on, because our journey through the end of this year and into the next is only going to accelerate, and you will need to be prepared for the gateways that are yet to come. Finally, drop a 999 inches in the comments one more time to affirm that you are completing this powerful cycle and stepping fully into your mastery. Remember, this is not a warning, it is a coronation. The universe is whispering, and only those who are still enough will hear the call to claim their crown. You have been prepared for this moment for lifetimes. The door is about to open. Which version of you will you choose to be when you walk through it? The choice, as always, is yours.